Welcome to the Gospel Road, starting a new week. Hopefully you had a great weekend. I was pretty busy, I'll be honest. Probably did a little too much yesterday with the heat, but did get a lot of yard work done. But again, it's getting hot, so be sure to stay hydrated, be smart, take care of yourself. Don't fail like I do. No, it happens, but do be sure that you stay hydrated, especially on these hotter days. We're supposed to be getting some rain tomorrow, so we'll see how that actually goes, but not too bad. Today, we are going to look at James 1. It says, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes in this dispersion, greetings. Counting it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. But let him ask it in faith, with no doubting. For the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. Let the lowly brother boast in his exaltation, and the rich in his humiliation. But like a flower of the grass, he will pass away. For the sun rises with its scorching heat and withers the grass. Its flower falls, and its beauty perishes. So also will the rich man fade away in the midst of his pursuits. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him. Let no one say, when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, and he himself tempts no one. But each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Then desire, when it has conceived, gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is fully grown, brings forth death. Do not be deceived, my beloved brothers. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. Of his own will he brought us forth by the word of truth, that we shall be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. Therefore put away all filthiness and rampant wickedness, and receive with meekness the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. But be doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like a man who looks intently at his natural face in a mirror. For he looks at himself and goes away, and at once forgets what he was like. But the one who looks into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and preserves, being no hearer who forgets, but a doer who acts, he will be blessed in his doing. If anyone thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless. Religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world. James 1. Knowledge. Talks about that. You don't know something? Ask. It's pretty simple. The Bible says, ask and ye shall receive. You're sitting at work. If you're not sure how to do something, ask. Ask for help. There's no sense to sit there and try and guess something and possibly do it wrong. I'll tell you, there was things that I failed at many times, and I simply needed to ask how to do it. Now, the fun part is when you ask and they're not even sure how to do it, and then you got to figure it out, and then it's all trial and error, but you get through. It's believing in yourself. Yes, I know, I say I have a problem with that, but it's true. It's believing with yourself. It's taking that step of faith to do what it is that needs to be done, to believe in yourself that you're able to do that job. Again, if you are unsure about something, ask a question. You ask that question and you learn. That's where that knowledge comes from. That's where then the wisdom comes from, to keep moving forward, to keep pressing to be the best that you can be, to really get to that level, moving up to the next level, completing each level like a video game. You've got a level. You know what you do to get through it. You get that level done, you move to the next one. It's, they call life as a game, and that's pretty much what it is. You have your different levels, and you're trying to make your way up, and you're trying to do the best that you can. But a lot of times, it's that theory, it talks about here being doers of the word and not hearers only. A lot of times, you can sit there and know the theory. You go to school, you learn how it happens, learn how it works, but then you never apply it. You need to apply the knowledge that you receive to learn how to do it better, because a lot of times when you are listening and you get the theory, and we've all learned that, theory is not always applied the same way when you put it into action in life. The theory is the idea. Now you have to take that step forward and then figure out how that works, because everything's different. You could have the exact same job at two different places, but it's not going to be identical. It's going to have different ways how things are done, because I've worked at many different radio stations, and not every single one works the exact same, because you have different people with different personalities. You have different ways that things need to be done. You have different computer systems. Things are not always the exact same. That's why you take it to apply the knowledge and then make that knowledge work to get that job done. But it's being careful when you're talking and asking that you're not becoming frustrated or upset, which is not easy. I know that for a fact. I've been there way too many times. It also talks about here about being quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. How many times you're dealing with work, you're trying to get something done, things are not getting done the way they should be, and you just get frustrated, you get angry. I have been there. I've been there lately. But I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to do better. Because all it does is just drives my mind insanely crazy. And there's no answer to that. It only is hurting me in that long run. I'm trying to basically keep that stress level down to the best I can. We deal with enough stress in life in many different ways for many different things. I took my car in last week to get the oil change, your regular maintenance, and all of a sudden, guess what? You need new tires, you need a brake job, and wow, well, now where am I going to come up with the money for that? This is what it's going to be. But it's part of life. It's the things that we have to deal with on a regular basis. Every time something ends, you're thinking, goodness, this is done, this is over, I can, maybe breathe for a minute, and then boom, all of a sudden something else drops in your lap. I know the feeling of that. It's frustrating, because it's like you are never able to actually breathe or get out of the situation that you're in. As soon as you get to the end of that tunnel, boom, another one happens. You get to the top of that mountain, and then boom, you're climbing again. You're in those valleys, you hit those peaks, but as soon as you're at the peak, it's that roller coaster. But it's being able to understand and how you can motivate and move your way through. Now, are you going to take those things and take that and allow it to really hold you back? Are you going to allow that to really mess with your mind? Or are you going to take those issues and go, this is nuts, it's driving me nuts, but we have those days. And, there's a song out there, it's called, maybe it's okay to be not okay, which is true, because we cannot be great every single day. there's going to be the highs and lows. You're going to have those low points, and it's rough. I was talking with somebody the other day, and they're asking how you're feeling. I've just been in this forever, in this funk. And they said, what is it? And they go, I'm like, I just feel guilty and emotionally spent. They're like, why do you feel guilty? Well, I haven't done anything. There's no reason to feel guilty. But a lot of times you get around a lot of people, and if you're, I have this empathy that I listen to people, and then I feel bad, and then it just kind of gets into my mind. And of course, how many of us, we listen to people that need help, and we want to help them, but we're not in a position to do it, and then you kind of get depressed because I'm not able to do it, and it just kind of, it's that recurring circle, and you keep fighting it. And then you just get emotionally exhausted. And then you find yourself pulling back and staying away because you just like, I can't hear another story. I can't deal with anymore. Then you're the jerk because you're keeping your distance. Now you're being judged because, mentally you're pretty much done and you're not able to handle anymore. You're already going through so much at home. You're going through so much at work, and then something just kind of piles on, and you're like, "Whoa, time out! I gotta put the brakes on here." Because if you don't, I know what it was like. I remember me being very quick to anger, very easily pushed over the edge. I was very calm. I had stressed myself up so much, had so much going on in my life that I was just, I was a hothead and I had a short fuse. And then it's taken me time to kind of pull that back and dial it back to where I'm not that person anymore, kind of back to where I was when I was younger and could deal with a lot. But even being able to deal with a lot, we still have our fill, and we have to be cautious. We have to be smart about things, about how we are creating that separation and making sure we're taking care of ourselves and getting that break. We always hear things a lot. You have the self-help books. You have all these different things that you need to do. It's like it says here, be doers of the word and not hearers only. You hear how to take care of yourself. Do it. Don't just listen. Apply that knowledge. Apply that wisdom. That's how you're taking care of yourself, to make yourself better, to not only help yourself, but to help those around you, to help at work, to help at home. Again, remember, it's being better today than you were yesterday, being better tomorrow than I am today. Always growing, always being better, always making that step to get to that next level, continually learning, gaining knowledge, understanding, wisdom. Never going to stop learning. We always will be learning. We always should be learning. James 1, that's what we looked at today. Read that. What's it say to you? How does it help you? How does it speak? What can you apply that into a part of your life? Physically, mentally, spiritually, professionally, personally? And where can you apply that to really help you grow to be better? Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.